It's Brian, Indiana Creek Pay Dirt, back again. Took a video of that first pan that I ran out of here this morning. I found a little piece. I ran 2 more pans after that and found nothing. So, I mean, it is Indiana. There's not piles of gold around here, but there is gold, which surprises a lot of people. The places where I usually pan, here close to home, it's small creeks that have been cut down to bedrock bottoms. A lot of big rocks, gravel bars, tons of black sands, magnetic and non-magnetics. Yeah, I'm trying to do this one-handed, I apologize. Yeah, there's a lot of smaller gold in places, flour gold. I've found a couple pockets that I hit Sunday that actually has quite a bit of bigger gold. I mean, and by quite a bit, I was finding it, I don't know, every other pan or so, a piece or two, sometimes a couple pieces that were really nice. Like I said, it sort of surprised me for the area I was at. It's something that, I mean, a place that I'd usually just found smaller stuff, but in these creeks like this, you find pockets of it that have built up for thousands of years and stayed there. Most of the rest of it's just spread out, you know, a piece here and there. You get some heavy sand, they'll get some flour, fine gold in it. So let's run another one out here. I'll try to do my one-handed spinning back here. I have to try left-handed next. See if I can get that down. And another strikeout. Try one more small scoop. And those are my bags for my pay dirt. Yeah, they're not fancy. I double bag them, make sure nothing's going to leak. I just trying to keep costs down. I'm just somebody that likes panning gold. I have a fairly decent spot to get some pay dirt that actually has gold in it. And I come across a fairly decent amount of some Alaskan gold flake here several months ago. And I've been using that for my added gold. You can check me out on eBay, Indiana Creek Pay Dirt. I've got, I think 3 different bags on there at the moment. The prices, they're going to go up and down a little bit, I guess, with gold prices, but I have a set price in the gold that I bought, so I can basically just go off of that. And I'm going to be putting out pay dirt for a while. I'm not somebody that's, going to sell a few bags and try to get rich. I'm shooting for 50% or better, 60, 70 on ROIs. My added gold, there's guaranteed amounts. Sale on my 0.5 bags, guaranteed gold. It's usually between 0.512 or 5.5, 0.55. I'm dumping stuff on the scale. It's really hard to take small amounts back out. So if I dump a little extra in there, it stays in there. So, and I've got some pictures I'm gonna try to get posted up here of some of the flakes that I found panning this stuff the other day. And I think I kept 7 or 8 nice flakes. And I added those flakes to one of my 8-ounce bags of pay dirt. So I think those are guaranteed above 0.3. So somebody got a nice little added bonus of a few flakes of some Indiana Gold. Let's try this again. I'm getting pretty good at this one-handed thing. Well, I spoke too soon. And another strikeout. Oh, Heidi Conan, there's your bag of dirt, or container of dirt that I got out for you guys to send you. I told them I'd send them a little bit of stuff just so they could experience some of what they missed out on. We're going to try to get another date set up to where they can get down here. Don't invite too many people down here, but it's only been fun to have them down here. But I don't know a whole lot of people around here local that enjoy the same hobby. So, sort of oddball thing for Indiana, I guess. I know there's some bigger groups around in Indiana, but now I see at Sugar Creek here in Montgomery County is, one section's about half a mile down from me, but we see people dredging in Sugar Creek quite often. I talked to a couple guys there a while back, a couple years ago, that was getting some decent gold out of there. And Indiana Gold, there's a lot of work for it. If you find a good spot, make the best of it. I know here where I go, it's all about finding nice pockets and some place where that stuff's settled in and not been washed out for a long time. Which, a lot of these creeks have real high banks on them, so they don't get washed out a whole lot. There's a lot of gravel and big rocks for stuff to hide in. This ain't going so good, but and there was a piece of gold. Indiana Gold down the drain. Alright, we're going to try one more shot here. I said, and is typical with panning Indiana Gold. You get a lot of empty pans. Like I said, it's hard to tell how much I'm losing doing this whole one-handed thing. Mussel shells. Indiana freshwater mussels. You don't find very many live mussels. I know they used to be fished commercially here in Indiana, and they put a stop to that a long time ago. But any of the live ones that we dig up, we put back in the water so they can get fat and happy. I got a little much soap in here. I was losing a lot the other day, not having a bunch. It's sort of hard to tell how much black sand's in here. Here's some of that water. See if I can get some of that. Alright, there's some of the places I find down here, which some of this is in there, I've pretty much classified it out, but some pieces of shell, you get down to where there's shell and clay, and some of the spots you find like that have some pretty good gold. Some have none. And I'm really better at panning than what it looks here. Oh, this is pretty sloppy. Like I said, I'm not used to the whole one-handed thing. Alright, we're going to try this one more time. Yeah, a little more water here and some more suds so I can't see anything, make it more challenging. And again, a strikeout. Now, when I was going through this, before I took the stuff out for the pay dirt, I was getting into gold every pan or two. But I got dirt from a couple different places. So I think that the stuff that was actually on top of my bucket I brought up here was from the last spot behind that big rock I'd found. And that's where I was finding most of my flakes. Like I said, there's probably been some small stuff here that I've washed out and trying to do the whole one-handed thing. And get something a little better set up with cameras instead of using my phone here in one hand and panning in the other. I never set out to be a big YouTube star. Never will be, I suppose, but at least try to share some of the fun and promote my pay dirt a little bit. Of course, from the looks of these videos, I mean, good thing I don't sell just pay dirt without added gold. I have a lot of mad people. But like I said, it is Indiana pay dirt. We're not in Alaska or Colorado or Montana or any of those cool places. So we make do with what we have. Alright, give it one more shot and then I'm going to call it quits. Another strikeout. Shoot. I promise you there is some gold in this stuff. Or there was. I'm guessing this has got to be one of the most boring YouTube gold panning videos in the history of videos. But hey. I try. I'm all sort of new to this. You know, I started making these videos a little bit ago, and I found a piece of gold in my very first pan. So I will be posting that video of it, so prove that there is actually gold here. Start to see the black sand a little bit. Like I said, I mixed in 2 different spots, which I shouldn't have, that I was going to. One had a lot more of the small creek rocks and blonde sands, and then one area has a lot more of the magnetics and non-magnetic black sands. Yeah, I didn't accomplish a whole lot there. These creeks here in Indiana are really pretty. I mean, you don't find a lot of gold, nothing else. The scenery is really nice. I know there's a place over at 30 minutes or so west of me, over by Attica, that sort of a destination spot for people looking for gold. I haven't been over there myself, but I've heard some stories and watched some videos. I know down in southern Indiana, there's a lot. I was sort of introduced to gold panning in Indiana several years ago, 20 years ago or so, longer. I worked for the Army Corps of Engineers, and one of the flood control reservoirs here in Indiana has got through some of the water running into the lake and down the tailwater is cut through bedrock. I mean, big tall cliffs. And the guy I used to fish with down there would take a break and go up and pan for gold. And every now and then I'd walk up there with him, and looking back on it, he was finding some really good gold. Maybe I need to make a trip back down there. Oh. Alright. One more for real this time. Let's get something along the edges here. Little pan, see what's going on here. Wow, there's way too much soap in there. You see on there's a lot of rocks, there's leaves. I get chunks of walnut out of there, walnuts, acorns, beech nuts, all kinds of good stuff like that. Occasional feather. We do find quite a few fossils down there too. Got a spot where there's a big giant petrified log sticking up out of the bank. It's surrounded by some big rocks, and I've been finding some good gold flakes in there. A few pieces that I would almost venture to call nuggets, but they're pretty small. I apologize for the crappy video work here. I just realized I'm looking at the pan and not looking at the screen, so I'm not really paying attention to where I'm videoing. There we go. So I have not mastered this one-handed panning thing. Hey, there we go. Finally. Now you notice the pans I ran are just part of that scoop. So end up losing that thing. Get some clean water in there. But yeah, there's another piece of Indiana gold. I'm having a hard time where you can actually see it. There we go. And that didn't make it any better. There we go. Yeah, it's small, but it's flaky gold from Indiana. I'll show you. Get rid of this stuff here. Now I'm gonna have to set this down for a second. There we go. I'll let it sit in this dirty water. Here are some of the bigger flakes that I've got from here. Which is pretty good for Indiana. So, I mean, it's been lots of pans to find that stuff. But there it is. Alright, I'm out of here. See y'all.